points, poorest regions and epidemics epicenters. International organizations carry out their activities in parts of the world where they are critical for people. They unite countries and continents, save millions of lives and solve global problems. Watch more of this in Kazakhstan International Vectors. From something in mind to something in kind, higher education institutions of Kazakhstan translate theory into practice. The key requirement is that everything should be done on the most up-to-date technological equipment. The crisis on the global market may result in loss of $10 trillion by 2030. The world is experiencing the times of globalization, and a new drift of labor nowadays is very important. The history of Profiland in Kazakhstan started 2 years ago. Inspired by experience gained in foreign countries, Hasan and his wife decided to launch a unique project for children. Its participants can both have a good time and try themselves in different trades. The couple drew up a detailed plan of the future Profiland. In order to realize their most brave idea, they invited experienced architects and designers. And in 2014, the institution opened its doors for the wide public. Despite the fact that the project has been functioning only 1.5 years, Hasan says that he already has regular customers. Among them are schools and nursery schools. In fact, we have established a social environment for children where they can work and play. That is to say, we play with children, allowing them to get familiar with different professions. While playing, kids can learn about advantages of different professions and how to master them. In the meantime, parents can watch through windows what their children are interested in and in what area they want to develop. How the Profiland has been developing and what contests are held for working specialties throughout the world. Coming up next. It is a fact that the list of desires of the contemporary youth lacks the notion working specialty. Indeed, more and more young people prefer office to factory jobs. Presently, many organizations all over the world are trying to revitalize the credibility towards working profession and eradicate the existing stereotypes. World Skills International is one of such organizations. World Skills International, or WSI, was established in 1953. It consists of 72 member countries. Its headquarters is located in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. The world is experiencing the times of globalization, and a new drift of labor nowadays is very important. And World Skills complies with all those necessary requirements towards modern professions dictated by our production process. Technologies are being changed rapidly, and the youth should also keep up with the times. The primary objective of the association is raising interest towards working professions and organizing competitions for young people before 25. Tutors and masters also take part in these contests in the role of experts who estimate the completed tasks. The World Skills International Championship is held twice a year. It is also called a labor contest. The main task was to demonstrate the overall requirements to working professions in the light of the 21st century, as well as to raise the interest of developing countries towards training of modern specialties who could qualify the requirements of modern production facilities. The World Skills Championship unites more than 1 million participants, 1.5 million experts and about 500 professions. The contests are held in 6 main areas: construction, production and engineering technologies, creative work and design, information and communication technologies, service industry and public transport maintenance. Along with that, these competitions are regarded as a platform for meeting of experts from different parts of the world. This is not only an opportunity of sharing technologies and learning colleagues' achievements, but also a chance to meet potential employers. Hasan tells that currently the Profiland consists of 20 special-purpose houses. Each of them demonstrates several professions. Among them is a construction site where children can try themselves in the role of masons, electricians, plumbers or bricklayers. Another one is a press center where little employees imitate TV presenters, editors and reporters.
Уникальность в том, что мы здесь не только играем.
The uniqueness of our center is that we not only play with children, but also give them a possibility to understand what a real job is. For example, working as a builder requires wearing a safety helmet.
Да, то есть если как бы мы работаем строителями, то мы работаем там в касках, понимаем, как это быть строителем.
Kazan remembers that before building each of these professional houses, he consulted people who were directly involved in this sphere. It allowed him to understand why masters love their trades. Meanwhile, Profiland workers share their obtained knowledge with children in order to make them feel the spirit of each specialty.
Здесь он может самостоятельно.
Here, our visitors can choose a specialty they liked most of all. We give them this opportunity by excluding adults from this game environment. Children choose professions themselves and adults act as observers. Kazan notes that the center's task is to some extent to revive children's love to working specialties. Indeed, whereas with age, teenagers tend to choose office professions, in childhood they're more interested in becoming doctors, builders or firemen. It is important to demonstrate that they should enjoy doing something for other people, irrespective of the profession they have chosen. There is also an option to demonstrate it to children's parents. What made representatives of working specialties join and how to win the International World Skills Contest? Coming up next. The world after the World War II, the ruined Europe is trying to return to its greatness. At that time, a representative of a Spanish youth organization understood that the young population lost its skills during military activities. In the meantime, a great demand for a working force could be observed. Consequently, he decided to reconstruct the system of professional education. Thus, in 1947, the country's first professional contest was held, where participants could demonstrate their skills. Tutors, in their turn, could see the goals to be achieved, and competition among the participants, whose number exceeded 4,000, increased several times.
Эту инициативу поддержала и Португалия.
This initiative was supported by Portugal, and since 1953, the two countries jointly held the so-called Pyrenean contests. Other European countries, Germany, France and others, also knew about these competitions and took an active part in them.
Другие страны Франции, начиная с 1953 года, участвуют в этих состязаниях.
Inspired by the success of those events, countries in different parts of the world followed this example and started to organize their own competitions, while the Spanish youth organization acquired a new name.
В 1970 году впервые
In 1970, this contest for the first time was held outside of Europe, in Japan, and in the beginning of the new century it was reorganized in World Skills International or the World Games Association for Professional Skills.
International – это в Ассоциацию всемирных игр по профессиональному мастерству.
Participants of World Skills compete in several dozens of various disciplines. A host country provides a platform for competition and ensures all necessary conditions. Tasks for professionals depend on their profession. For instance, cooks or chefs should be able to make a number of dishes. Restaurant workers should be able to set the table, make cold and hot appetizers, first and second courses, salads, and so on. The experts describe a modern worker as a highly qualified specialist committed to his profession. Therefore, the association has set a top task to develop the education system and raise interest towards its practical part.
Последние годы мы знаем, что мир стал цифровым.
For the last years, we could observe complete digitalization of the world. Computer technologies are rushed into our life, and as a result, more and more enterprises, including those in Kazakhstan, start using robotics technologies. And the image of a today's worker has also undergone changes due to the new production requirements.
Облик рабочего также меняется в связи с требованием этого производства.
The research shows that salary is the main aspect which encourages people to choose a certain profession. However, the experts say that a decent salary is not enough for growing highly qualified specialists and attracting young people in this sphere of activity.
Для того, чтобы ребенок получил рабочую профессию, он
A
должен...
child should not evaluate a working profession in terms of money. Our surveys have shown that 93% of participants put a priority on wage rate.
3% анкетируемых в первую очередь поставили уровень заработной платы.
Basing on this, the association emphasizes special importance of these contests where the young generation can determine the worth of working professions. Thus, in 2014, Yekaterinburg Expo Championship, dedicated to high-tech branches of industry or World Skills High-Tech, was held. Thousands of specialists from different parts of the world took part in it. According to the experts, events like this, besides financial ones, help the growing population to see many other perspectives in working professions.
Очень важно, что вот на этих конкурсах
Presence of the innovative spirit is very important at these contests, and the main thing there is new technologies.
именно молодежного интереса.
In 2015, Kazakhstan took part in World Skills International Championship for the first time. The national team competed in 7 areas: tannery, hairdressing, welding, cooking, information technologies, bricklaying, as well as finishing and plasterboard works. The Kazakhstani team did not take any place, however, got several recognition gifts. Kazan's prospects include opening Profiland offices in all parts of Kazakhstan. Now the age of people interested in this project varies from 4 to 14 years. But in the future, the entrepreneur plans to increase the age of participants by means of modernization.
Следующий этап мы уже каждую профессию приближаем к жизненной реальности. То есть как бы
Making each profession real is our next step. Now we work separately with each profession. For instance, if we deal with a TV channel, it should be a particular TV channel, and if we work with some press center, it should be a press center of a particular newspaper.
уже, то есть если мы говорим, что это телеканал, то это будет уже какой-то определенный телеканал. То есть если мы говорим, что это будет пресс-центр, то это пресс-центр.
Kazakhstan has become the 70th member country of World Skills International. Along with participation in the events organized by the association, the country is also actively involved in the implementation of reforms in the sphere of education and professional orientation based on the international experience. Thus, students in Kazakhstan are legally obliged to do practical training beginning from the second year of studies. Along with that, an emphasis is made on dual education, which will allow educational institutions to cooperate with potential employers. This will improve competency and the level of employment among young specialists.
Я считаю, что в Казахстане это самая актуальная
I
проблема.
think that this is one of the most topical problems in Kazakhstan. The development of vocational education requires much attention from the part of our government. It is because vocational education is a special one. It requires material resources. A large number of laboratories will allow us to attract young people from the age of 15.
Большим количеством лабораторий, в которых можно ребят уже привлекать.
Specialists say that not a diploma, but a real knowledge proved in practice is the main factor of success in a chosen profession.
Во время практики значит, наши студенты колледжи
During practice, our students should obtain as much knowledge as possible in order to avoid the gap between the educational program and professional activities. It is true that employers are not ready to take students who would help working at their enterprises, so we should eliminate this problem as soon as possible.
практику на предприятиях, приносили пользу для предприятия своей работой.
Under the conditions of globalization, the requirements towards working specialties are becoming much stricter. The task of World Skills is to unite all the countries for solving the problem of manpower shortage and ensuring advanced training of workers. The choice of people with unusual professions is mainly based on their fantasy. Annually, this list is completed by new specialties. Among them are a specialist in putting jam on buns, New Year tree dresser, paperback tester, and wet cleaning manager.